Well, you're here. Welcome. First 2020 Smashcenter stream is now live with, of course, your host Suar. Happy New Year's. Happy holidays. Happy everything. If this is your first time in the chat and the stream, this is, of course, Smashcenter, your source for the latest in Smash coverage, tournaments, controversies, and more. Of course, it's also the source of the PGR roundtables, which will be starting very soon. And it's also where, Coney and I get to talk about the community, talk about you, as you ask questions during our Q&A, and much, much more throughout the show. If you could, go ahead, chat it up in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, and make sure to like and subscribe so you can get the latest in Panda coverage, PGR news, and etc. If you're listening to us on Spotify, iTunes, or your favorite podcast app, welcome. We're in your ear right now. So, you know how it is. It's been a while. I want to just first and foremost apologize because December is really rough, personally for me, personally for Coney. We didn't get, we didn't give you like the end of the year sort of bang that we wanted. So we're gonna start the beginning of the year with a bang by revealing the dates that the second season of the PGRU is going to be revealed. Which, by the way, it's not tomorrow, which the chat already tried to play telephone with itself. But in any case, let's bring on Coney. He's going to join us for the show, see what he thinks. We're going to get immediately into the dates, so don't worry. We're just going to, just get comfortable, and then we're going to talk about Congo Saga, Let's Make Big Moves, and contenders for top 10, 5, and maybe, who's number 1, since that's always a surprise. So, Coney, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Tonight, it's revealed tonight. All 50 coming to you tonight. You're going to know everybody. Tonight, that's when you're going to find them out. Woo!
My poor ears. It's not tonight, Coney. Could you imagine, though, like, accidentally open the text file? Oh, no.
Yeah. Sorry, chat. I just wanted to see. It's not true.
Well,
he'll tell you.
Congrats, by the way, on fatherhood, everything. You were not a father beforehand, I think, last episode, so...
No, it's been a while. Like he just said, I feel the same way. Sorry we didn't get to do this for a while. Between my family obligations, I had a kid. I have a beautiful little daughter, Juliet. If you don't follow me on Twitter and you only watch the show, I got a daughter. Wife and I were taking care of her. Daughter had a health scare, and then my wife had a health scare, really bad one. But everything's good now. We're at home. Everything's fine. I go back to work next week, so I've had a lot of time off between the holidays and that. So
you're still off?
Yeah, I get 6 weeks off, and I took an extra week off because of all the bullshit. And
wow,
my job's great. Yeah, they're very nice. So.
Well, happy for you, Coney. Of course, everybody would love 6 weeks off. But yeah, in any case, this is the show. This is the first one. This is episode, I think, 48, which is why. But yeah, as everyone has now come to learn through Twitter and through what many have seen through the X Factor surveys that some players have taken on stream, that caused quite a commotion because people's favorite hometown hero wasn't in the running for a Google form.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I mean, it was just funny to me. It was a lot at once. The X Factor, for people who don't know, it's just a survey a panel takes. They rate people, based on their own subjective opinion. That's then compared to the actual rankings that the PGR produces through its algorithm, and then it's compared. If you're really high in an X Factor in the positive way, people are probably overrating you because they saw you pop off on stream at a major, and if your X Factor is really low, like -30, then people really don't think about you at all, and you quietly do well. So it was pretty interesting to see what people thought. There were some old red herrings and then some new ones. People were really upset that Wizrobe. I know.
That was so funny. Wizrobe, yeah. I was like, wait, did Wizrobe... Like, whenever I see that, because, like, some people... Like, I didn't know how hard Wadi popped off the season. Like, I knew he was doing well. But if you look at his results, he is, like, the quintessential gatekeeper. You know what I mean?
It did work.
Yeah, he's, like, always at ninth. Not beating like the amazing like top 10 players, but he's beating everybody else and sometimes getting a win on those guys. He actually almost beat Nairo this past weekend at Let's Make Big Moves, who went on to win the tournament. So I was like, oh damn, maybe Wizrobe, maybe he's been quietly getting 17th. Like maybe he's getting 17th, and I've just been unlucky. I've never seen him
when
shit.
When you watch, read Reddit Twitter and MySpace Smash every day, it seems hilarious. But for someone who maybe is in the FGC, they might see the name like Wizrobe or even Foe, right? Because Foe's always been a popular Smash 4 name.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, wow, how's he doing? And then realize, oh, no. So, yeah, you're either... The top 50 was in there, so people were able to suss that out pretty quickly. And then the other 50 are not. So... there's Area 51 was mixed in there, and then the other 45 people were just, for lack of a better term, randoms. Just randoms you would know.
Yeah.
But in any case, we're gonna give you the goods up front because I hate long drawn out things. So the PGRU, the second season of the Panda Global Rankings Ultimate Edition, since of course we moved on from Smash 4. I don't think I've seen anyone play that game since SmashCon. And Melee has its own brand of the MPGR. Tonight we're going to reveal when the PGR is actually going to be revealed. So it's like an announcement of an announcement of an announcement. So I don't even know where I put it. Oh, there it is. Production. So for this second season of the competitive Smash anime, you're going to see that on the screen next Monday. We're going to have 50 through 41, Wednesday 40 through 31, Friday 30 through 21, and then the following Tuesday and Thursday, pretty much literally the day before Genesis and the day before my birthday, January 24th, which is probably going to be celebrated with a Do Not Disturb. You're going to get the top 20. So screenshot it, clip it, tell everybody you know. These are the official dates for next week's reveal, as well as the following. Area 51 always has the splendor of opening up the entire rankings, and that will come out, obviously, right before the 50 through 41. So pretty soon. This is a lot closer that I'd like to announce than probably historically ever, but with holidays and just a lot, I always dislike the winter fall period to announce because it's kind of awful. But there you have it. Those are the 5 dates. Coney, it's not tonight. We're not doing the top 50 tonight, please.
Oh, man. Well, I will say, I know.
Can you imagine?
PGR now. I do. I know, just mass dropping them all. Well, one of the reasons that they kind of spaced them out, and I know you've talked about this before, but for anybody that doesn't know, the reason they space them out is just to give everybody their time. Obviously, if we released everything, I shouldn't say we, because then that's how I get questions in my chat, like, why do you make the PGR? I don't make anything.
Coney, why? Why do you?
I don't want to. That's like when people tweet at the commentator, like, the sound is bad. I don't care. What? I'm just talking. Yeah, so the top 50 get revealed in pieces, so everybody gets their time. If they revealed all 50 at one time, everybody would be only talking about the top 10. So
the top 5, honestly.
Top 5, yeah. I was gonna. Well, they might see like a snub and be like, "Oh, this guy at 11th should be 7th." You know what I mean? Something like that.
Sure.
But I actually do know a lot of the PGR. I don't have it like in a list like physically, but I've heard it. It's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited to see sort of what the reaction is gonna be, because it's you guys are gonna like it. It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
By fun he means horrible, and by interesting he means terrible. So let's not kid ourselves. Just seeing just seeing the reactions to the X Factor. I think people are really they're really thirsty. They're thirsty for something. I'm not sure what it is, but it's not even cancel culture really. I don't know if the PGR could be canceled. It's not even a person, but can you imagine? But it's just like every interaction, even like apart from the PGR, when it's like top players discussing a matchup or a tier list, or no one has had a rule set discussion in a while, which, by the way, if you want some easy impressions, that's an easy one to throw up. People at each other's throats over like literally nothing. So it's kind of alarming, the times we're in. World War III on the horizon, you know how it is. But it'll be next week starting on Monday. Very excited. We have a very bodacious group of writers who this time we're like, listen, you want the writing quality, you want everything, we got to find people. It's too much for just a small team. We opened the doors, people applied. It was great to recruit them. So now we're gonna bring it in full force, and then of course, we've had someone, kind of doing the videos for the past few. So as most patterns should dictate, hopefully expect something like that. But I want everyone to just see it when they see it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I do want to remind everybody that Let's Make Big Moves was not a PGR event for this past season. Let's Make Big Moves is actually
that is important.
It's important for the anime. Okay, you can't just start season 3 without watching season 2's finale, and that exactly happened. Season 2 ended, with Congo Saga. It was an S tier. SoCal, of course, everybody knows 2GG, etc. Let's Make Big Moves was put on by EMG, House of 3000, VGBC, IRS, everybody. And it was really cool. It was in New York. Nairo won. But again, that is next season. So, for Nairo's placement, anything that has to do with Nairo himself, that is next chapter, next volume. For everything else, it's always been a difficult process, again, for people who are maybe tuning in for the first time or don't know. We've tried off seasons before. People yell at us. Okay, no off season. So we just, okay, it's just a rollover. All right, we keep going. The ride doesn't stop. You don't get off the roller coaster, and then top players complain, oh, we're burned out, PGR pressure. Okay, you gotta have it one way or the other. And for the most part, the off-season question is a difficult one. It needs to be done nearly a year in advance. Coordinating that level of TO ship at that scale is nearly impossible, and I'll tell you why. It's not even egos. It's not even anything that used to be kind of the old Wild West of Smash 4. It's mostly because, dude, if you host a tournament right now, people will go. The volume is still high. It's still the first, now it's the second year, right? Second chapter. Smash 4 saw it, in the beginning, just host, who's hosting, host. So off seasons are just kind of a way that obviously we wanted top players to have at least 2-3 weekends, maybe at the end of December, etc., to have a total no-fly zone. But there is the soft ban of the holidays, since people, holiday prices are insane and people tend not to do tournaments. But Japan doesn't care. Japan did what it wanted. Other regions did what it wanted. And you have the insanity that was last season. So quick breakdown for anybody who doesn't follow the tournament tier system or know what it is. It's, of course, where we have all of the data that we're going to use and that you've seen. So for people who are starting to make their fantasy lists and side betting, or just being silly with their money, another way to put it, is right here we have the 6 S tiers of the season: Evo, SmashCon, Congo Saga, Big House, Shine, and Main Stage, in that order of intensity. Evo and SmashCon basically broke the scale by maxing it out, followed by Congo and Main Stage going down to the lower portion of the S tier bandwidth, or ban rather. Then Glitch, famously Glitchgate, of course, being the highest A tier, and then it goes all the way down to Ultimate Fighting Arena 2019. There are literally 13 A tiers. So 13 A tiers, 6 S tiers, 19 high profile events, and then the Bs, they keep coming, and then the Cs as well. Something I do want to note, Stuart98, very helpful Reddit mod for Smash, and in general, just amazing all-around guy. Did a couple bit of quick maths, and you'll see here that by region, from Australia down to Tri-State, of course these regions are colloquially understood as, Europe is not a country, as Florida is not a country, but Smash is that way. So breakdown was pretty cool to see. SoCal had 15% of the points this season. Japan had 16. Again, important for storylines.
You gotta move it a little bit to the side.
A little bit to the side? Oh, my bad.
On the screen, we can't see the
okay.
column. Yeah.
Production. Yeah, so...
It's tough to man the ship. I get it.
Well, it's just Excel. Let me actually physically... Let me move it in the sheet physically. There we go.
Basically see it. There we go.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, so... Actually, let me zoom in a little bit. Production. So, yeah, like I was saying, SoCal, in its infamous, horrible first year of Smash Ultimate, had 15% of the points this season. Now, of course, they were basically a throwaway for Japan. So, again, keep that in mind. Well, you know, like Japan would always go. Somehow, Team Japan gets funded. Here we are. We got a top 8 with Japan and Leo. Japan itself had 16% of the points, meaning that they literally scored out of all the divisions here the most points of the season to their own region. Japan this season was incredible. They had Umabura after Umabura after Sumabaro after Sumabaro count for all sorts of crazy results that resulted in people like Ken coming back to the limelight. There are a bunch of other, like, you know, main specialists that would then come here, Leia and T the letter, all doing incredibly. And then you kind of see the rest of it. Australia, go Aussies, 1.27. You kind of see the rest. Canada had a respectable almost 6% of the points this season. The Southwest region, which is, of course, going to be like Arizona, Nevada, almost 9%. Southeast, like Florida, Georgia, about 3%. Tri-State with a 4%, which, again, if you consider the entire world, it's pretty big slice of the pie. Midwest with 8%. And then MDVA with the glitches and everything that's going on with VGBC. Yeah, 9.2. Europe itself, though, obviously spread across, like, I don't know, every other country that's there. They had almost 10%. But again, Europe was also the region that struggled to get, you know, those like Syndicate was nice. Syndicate scored an A. But as far as that goes, Europe did not land, aside from Ultimate Fighting Arena being the last one, only 2 events that were of the top 19. So 2 A tiers, while everything else, the 6 S tiers were spread in MDVA, SoCal, and Southwest. So there you have it, everybody. Well, I know. You guys really put in work for a meme region. I don't know that you're the meme region anymore.
We got Wadi and
Tidor.
We got Wadi.
Yeah, Wadi and Tidor.
So I had a question about that, and I hope this isn't putting you on the spot or anything. I'm just interested.
Do it.
So with all the Umburas and all the entrants and stuff, and considering Japan is now taking the biggest piece of the pie, with their sort of cultural, the way that they do tournaments, right? There's single elimination. They don't play for prize, right?
No, money is universally banned there.
Yeah. So with that, should that ever be sort of considered in sort of how the PGR looks at their results, in the same way that, like, we had to talk about MomoCon, right? It's a free tournament. Everybody's going to enter, and there's going to be a million DQs. I'm wondering if maybe, because I know there's a certain weight applied to the international scenes, specifically so the PGR isn't all just US. I don't want to, but I also don't want to disincentivize Japan for showing up. Like, they have so many people that show up over and over, and that's amazing. I just wonder if it's weighted sort of, maybe it's pushed a little bit too far in one direction if they're getting 16% of the pie. But I'm not looking at the entrant count, so I just wanted to know sort of your thoughts on that, because that's jarring, you know. That's a big number.
Yeah, so Japan itself, even just looking at, like, how many events they hosted, all these events were hitting upwards of, I can't read my own TTS, 700, Umabura, SP5, 500, SP4, 517. I mean, these are impressive numbers even in just literally anywhere. So the multiplier was a slight bump. To say that the multiplier gave them their points, I think it was compounded. I think, like, the multiplier definitely helped them, and their momentum was extremely high.
Okay.
The argument talking about prize money, we used to measure actually how much prize money was factored into the pot, and then guess what tournament started buying more prize potting. So yeah, a good point. There was never any indication that the more prize money, the more intense the set. Obviously, you know, main stage at Evo for a bag of Doritos, or, you know, grand finals at Summit for a nice car payment. both of those are in two like very different headspaces for the players. Winning Evo, winning Summit, what it takes. You can't start talking about money. It's like the set is the set is the set.
Sure.
What matters is if it's 2 out of 3 or best of 5. So money aside, Japan doesn't do that. I think there has to be entrance fees and stuff like that, but in terms of a proper pot, they don't have prize money. And so that obviously is interesting considering they're playing literally for the game as opposed to everywhere else. But their intensity this season cannot be understated.
Sure. Okay.
It'd be one thing if they had a couple events, but like even just looking at here at the Umaboras,
there are a lot.
Yeah. It's not only quantity, but also quality. All the Umaboras, all the Sumabatos, just the Sumabatos themselves, like capping at 320. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events capped at 320. If 5 events capped at 320 in New England, you're looking at the same deal. You know what I mean? So very interesting to see. And also, like, I know people were talking in the chat that Florida is separate from Southeast. And Southeast, of course, being like Georgia, the Carolinas, stuff like that. Florida, huge state. California, huge state. Japan, huge country. So obviously Europe, not a country, but an entire continent, and that's very huge. But people always used to thought that everyone in Japan kind of like knows each other, plays with each other. Not the case. Juddy, very incredible Japan research analyst on Smash Twitter, has always maintained that like these people don't travel to the same locales that you would imagine. It's not just like, oh, everyone meet in SoCal. Like they don't have something like that. A lot of it is centralized towards Tokyo, but they also, I mean, it's a country. It's huge. Small country, but again, huge in terms of travel. So that's the region point breakdown. Those are the tournaments by tier. You had, how many C tiers did we have? We had a good 41. So there were some in Korea, which is cool. I know JJ Rockets for some reason was in Korea over and over. You did have some small Japanese events like the Karisumas. They capped at 160. So that's the other interesting part. There's like hard caps in some events, no hard caps in other events. We got an event in Puerto Rico, First Attack 2019. So Japan definitely did the work this season. They mobilized, they organized. Very impressive to see. So yeah, keep that in mind as this reveal will be funny.
Yep. I have one other quick question. Again, not to
put me on the spot. Just do it.
I'm curious how you feel about. So there was the whole like A tier thing about glitch. 6 S tiers this season seems like a good number. Roughly 1 every 2 months. Clearly, it doesn't work like that because I know it obviously doesn't work.
Two every month, you mean?
One every 2 months. Like if we're looking at it over an even spread of 12 months, you have 6.
Okay. In a season, sure. In a season, there's 6, but you're talking about a year.
That's not how it works. And it also, but that's not how it works anyway because clearly, summer's a big deal with SmashCon and Evo and Smash and Splash, blah blah blah. Is 6, do you think, a good number for S tiers? Are you guys, and you don't have to give an answer now, obviously, but is that something you guys sort of want to artificially tool out? Like, okay, we want 5 S tiers a year. We want 6. We want 7. Do you want more events to sort of creep up there? Or does this not really ring any alarms for you and say, okay, we'll just sort of keep it as is?
Well, what's interesting is that you're asking what I want, and I don't want this, or that's a dumb way to put it. I don't want any particular outcome for the scene other than growth. And I think when we're talking about sustainability, like it is a hard question because what is sustainable for one region? I mean, if we look at the 2GGC, right, that centralizes to one place, many S tiers guaranteed at one spot hurt Pacific Northwest, hurt Canada, hurt even Mexico, which is supposed to be like bolstered by something like that. 6 S tiers I personally like because it looks great on a player card. But
I have my math. I was thinking of it like a year. I'm stupid. It's 6 months, so 6 events in a 6-month period. That makes
which for this season it ended very like almost cookie cuttery. Like it was very like we had a little bit of summer, right? The end of summer with July. Well, we didn't have June or May. May's kind of summer-y. But we had June and August, right? Which is of course going to be summer into fall. And 6 S tiers dotted it very nicely. The awkward part is that, again, you asked me like what we want, and so yes, the whole PGR. No, I know what you mean, but like,
not to say that you're playing God as in like I wish we had 10 S tiers every season, but more like at what point do you look at this and like let's say next season there's a big drop off and then there's one S tier next season.
Wish
for whatever reason the 5th character comes out and they're stupid and they kill the game.
Sure.
And the one S tier is Evo.
Sure.
Like you at that point you would probably step in and be like, okay, well we don't want that, I would think. Not to say that you guys are trying to like artificially sort of legitimize or delegitimize any certain event, but at what point do you guys sort of step in and sort of take the reins on this sort of thing? It's sort of been self-propelled for a while, right? You guys haven't, it's been hands off.
Yeah, we don't like, so the thing is that this is all aesthetic, right? Like,
yeah,
us measuring S tiers at 2400, which is determined in the cases of Evo and SmashCon by entrance and determined by Congo and everything else by PGR, meaning the concentration of that talent that we rank out. Like, all these letters, they're aesthetic, and it could have been whatever it is that we wanted S to be, but what we found through each time we tested, like, those legacy events always hit like a certain cap. And so like what ends up happening if you have that one S tier doomsday PGR scenario, which might happen one day, it's just that A tiers end up mattering that much more, if that makes sense. So
gotcha.
It's like, that's the next heavy bit. The issue here is that, you know, people like, for this, if this was a course, right? Because it's easy to think about it like grades. These 6 were literally like your unit tests for the semester, and these A tiers are more like, you know, like your high stakes quizzes, and then your B's are like more of like, you know, the pop quizzes. C's is just classwork. All right. And so you do all your classwork, you're not passing the class, and then everything else obviously like tallies up. So like if you get like 65th at main stage, 49th at Shine, and 33rd at the rest, like you're looking at like the bulk of your ranking tanking. Sure. Because these 6 things are like literally like, picture a jar, these are the golf balls inside, and then the marbles are going to be the A tier, and then like the rice is going to be the B tier, and then the sand would be the C tier. I have no more metaphors for you, but you kind of get the idea. And so yes, with doctoring all that, we're not, etc. It's aesthetic, but it's like how people understand and talk about. So what really ticked me off, and I'll get off my soapbox before we go into Congo Saga, was when people are like, there's too many S tiers, like faulting us for it in a way. It's like, it like you set the values at the beginning of the season, and then if they hit them, they do. But also, like, people are gonna pay or play what they want to pay or play because the opportunity's there. So it's hard, you know, prorate this as an S tier and only 6 S tiers a season, and then it's like, yeah, but then Summit comes around, and what do we call that? You know, if it's crazy, or you know, main stage was slated. Main stage is I don't know if this is historic. I think Shine's the only other one to do it, but and I guess SmashCon, but main stage, SmashCon, and Shine might be the only events of their kind who have ever hit S tier on the first go. Like, I think Genesis,
not common.
Yeah, no, like on the first go, like GTX, hello. Like, they did kind of, like, they just bought everybody and whatever, but, you know, didn't happen. GTX 2 looked like a local, no shade. But, you know, that's really cool that main stage did that. So to say, no, main stage, you're not legacy, get down back to A, it's like, dude, it's all aesthetic. These are all just values, you know? It's just easier for conversation for Wizzy to say, oh, he won a B tier, he won a C tier, an A tier, an S tier, you know what I mean? So that hopefully answers that. Biggest thing I just want chat and everybody to know, since we spent way more time on the TTS and this mini interview, is that these are the weights. So in conversation, you want to slap some knowledge on the Twitter sphere, yell at somebody. These are literally how they weighed. So Evo and Super Smash Con, they are vital. If you didn't go to either, I don't think anyone that didn't go to at least one is ranked. TBH. Damn. I just so don't.
That's the final.
Unless everything else was like, you know, just amazing. Yeah, you had to literally win everything else that was like a B or A. And then, yeah, Glitch is, of course, Glitchgate, so it's the highest A, and then the lowest A is Ultimate Fighting Arena. Everything else obviously trickles in, and then that's your TTS. And Japan, I mean, Japan did the thing. You know, they organized, and there's a multiplier which helped a little bit for Europe, getting almost to 10. Canada almost getting up to 6, and I want to say Mexico getting up, just around 5. So, yeah, there's also talk about the multiplier. Higher, lower, get rid of it. I mean, listen, like, there are other players outside of SoCal. There are other players outside of New England. So this is our effort to try to make sure everybody gets along.
Yeah.
So anyways, talking about Kongo Saga, since that ended last season.
That's crazy. That's the third. I had no idea it was that sort of prestigious.
Kongo Saga?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's because
Kongo Saga is nice.
It's been quiet for a while. It's in that dead sort of zone after Big House and before Genesis, where things just get kind of small. And I think a lot of people were figuring, there is Kongo Saga, which is gonna be big, but it's gonna be not quite as big. But that's huge to take the number 3 spot. Just so much of the PGR were there, and it's great to see it and Let's Make Big Moves, which was a resounding success. Like, shout outs to EMG. Yeah, big shouts to EMG, Max, Tio Joe. Those guys did amazing with the event. I think it's leading us into a new year, and I think people are hungry for sort of, you were talking about how people are kind of thirsty for something. They're clamoring for something. I think we're coming into the new year, and we're seeing that there's still a lot of passion behind the scene. People want to talk about Smash, both in-game and the stuff that affects outside of it. And Kongo Saga was a lot of fun to watch. Again, just the PGR representation, the international representation. Look at that. Mexico, US, France, Japan. Like, these guys were all over the place. It was a great event.
Yeah, I mean, it was also just really like that final, Leo is just going to do Leo, and also the tweak arc, which I called on our last, I think, final episode before the year ended and Kongo Saga began. I was like, Tweak might have that redemptive arc, and then he totally did. So as you see it there, Kongo Saga was a very big deal. Something I dislike about Smash in its first year at Ultimate is just it moved very quickly. I think that Smash 4 kind of had this like rev up where it's like, oh, this is competition. Oh, these are the names I need to know. Now it's like, dude, everyone is bursting out on the scene. We would never have had a Meister back then. At a year into the game, they would have been like the first month kind of meta weirdos. Yeah. But at this stage, so Leo wins the whole thing, followed by Tweak with the Smash Ultimate cover art. Meister in third, Light in fourth with just solo Fox, bro. Gotta commend that. Gotta commend that the entire time. People are starting, like, now's the time, obviously, where people try that tertiary kind of waters. What, how can I try this? How can I try that? He's never tried anybody else, not even the other Spaceys. So shout outs to Light, what a guy. Lutoni finally, I don't want to say finally, but I know that, like, he is Europe's champion right now. So getting 5th was insane. T with his Link, also insanity. Leo with his Greninja, and then Samsora, ever present. And so Dabuz, Nairo, T, Wadi, Gact, Goblin, Kamame, Kome, very good for a top 16. I don't think like we have had any graphic repeat itself more than maybe 2 times or 3 times in terms of a character being on there. Definitely not even consecutive, dude. I think this one is entirely unique except for Leo, and wow, it is.
Yeah, it's very impressive what people are doing with characters.
Oh my god, it is.
Yeah, it's fascinating too, because like you were making Smash 4 comparisons, and I know people are sick of like commentators and people doing that, but it's worth considering. I know a lot of people have sort of griped about Ultimate or made complaints about it, and I get it. I know why people sort of have frustrations with the game, but one thing that you can say is that this game has a wide variety of characters that can do it at this level, which is not true of many games, if I'm being totally honest. That's very impressive.
Yeah, and I think like it's funny, right? Because people are like almost wanting the very thing that'll hurt them. So
Sure. Yep.
in Call of Duty right now, to make it to be hip, Call of Duty is Call of Duty, and it's literally comes out every year. But currently in the meta of this very famous shooter, the M4 rifle, assault rifle, is like the best all around gun, right? And so within matches and within people just talking, not even competitive, but just like, you know, pubs and stuff, like it's always there. It's always being used. There's like literally, I don't even know how many, but at least 30 guns in the game, obviously subdivided into like SMG, shotguns, etc. And there's like so many attachments, the craziest attachment system Call of Duty's ever seen. But the M4 is like always there. So this is the other side where there is no quote unquote M4. Yes, Leo slays everybody with Joker. Tweak is attempting similar sort of like effect, but he's doing it also with other characters. There's no Bayo right now. There's no Bayo. Nothing is even close to Bayo. I remember when people would be like, well, Wolf down smash. No. there is nothing remotely close to Bayo in any of these top 16 graphics that we did for the first year, my guy.
Yeah.
So that's good. But I think it's funny because it's like people don't also like that. I think they want to see like the Zero Suit Chic Rosalina thing, but also we ended up hating that. So it's like so interesting.
What would you rather have? It's sort of pick your poison. Would you rather have 3 characters that are good at everything, and so you're going to keep seeing them? Or would you rather have these 8 characters who are good at their one thing, but they're so good at it that it takes them this far? Like Meister just mashing and then being when you touch a shield. No other character can do it as well as Game & Watch, and no player does it with Game & Watch as well as Meister.
Mm-hmm.
T is just naring in place, and DeBuzz can't find a way around it, and so DeBuzz loses the T. It's frustrating to watch sometimes, but no other link is popping off like T. It's not like this is sort of a pandemic. We don't have this problem everywhere. Greninja is annoying to fight at times, but only really Leia and maybe a very select few others are making it happen. So it's a weird thing.
Yeah, and then don't even get started on Wario with wafting, right?
Right. That's, like, I deliberately skipped over it because it was too easy. Like, that's low-hanging fruit, you know? So
yeah, and Peach, right? So grab to 80. And it's bizarre because now that the game's been out for a year, it's almost like the game is almost like rock, paper, scissors. I mean, like, yes, like fighting games, but are all rock, paper, scissors interactions. And I'm saying, like, the characters themselves are like you described, like, yeah, DeBuzz can't get around T. He's just naring in place. Rock beats scissors. But it's almost like their rock and their scissors are like heavier or sharper than any of the ones we have.
Yep.
And so that is kind of a boring game because it's like if I watch 2 people do rock, paper, scissors, it's kind of like, well, someone's one will beat out the other, or they'll tie. But, you know, you bring a gun, right, or a knife. Now it's like, whoa, right? But then people don't want that because that's not fair. So what a bizarre first year, right? Like,
sure,
it's the perfect game in a sense from the design perspective that the diversity at this point and the depth of that diversity extends every graphic to the 16th, you know, like tying players. So I think to summarize both like the season and even like the first year of Smash, and something I wanted to say before 2020 was just, I think the game is headed in a positive direction. I just think it really matters what people say that direction is at the top level. I mean, I know the Phantom, the Gimmer teching, right? That came out, people are like, game's broken. Like, guys, like you're losing your jump and positional advantage at this point. Yes, then you put tap jump on, but now like the other parts of the game still exist. So play with tap jump, sure. But yeah, I just don't see the game in an unhealthy state. I see its talk about, you know, being in an unhealthy state since it's Twitter, right? It's Twitter or Reddit. So those are my thoughts. I don't know if you have a closing one.
No, I mean, I agree. I think we could talk about this for hours and hours, but we've already talked for a very long time, so we might as well just get into the next thing. Also, we're going to do Q&A tonight, so we'll be taking your questions because I'm sure you have a ton, so I'm trying to leave them a lot of time. But
oh, gosh. Okay, well, let's quickly shout out the only event to happen this weekend that everyone's talking about, and that's, of course, Let's Make Big Moves. I think it's going to be it's kind of like a little preface to this Season 3. It's kind of in between. It's kind of like reading 2 books at the same time or playing 2 games at the same time, or like you're trying to finish one, but now you're in the middle of another. Season 2's over, right? This is like Prince of Persia, like the end of this crazy adventure game, and now you're trying to start like another adventure game. And this one popped up with Nairo, of course, who, with the entirety of the 12 million naifus he has at his disposal, did it. And I guess the story goes, I was asleep, but DeBuzz did not. So drama there, and Tri-State Grand Finals, which I believe they got rocked in the crew battle, unless that was a meme. But
no, they got destroyed. Well, destroyed is a strong word. Mystery did a lot. Mystery was their ankle. He was their anchor.
Really?
He did a lot of. Yeah, he did a lot. Wasn't able to. He basically did 3-stock Raito to win it, and Raito did not get 3-stocked. But you know, he did okay.
That's probably the hardest person at 3-stock, like aside from, I don't know, T.
It's exhausting. Yeah.
Or yeah. Anyways, go on.
It wasn't as bad as you might think. But anyway, it was like they looked like they were going to lose much harder earlier, but then they came back. It's interesting that you were talking about the rock paper scissors thing, because what was fascinating to me at Let's Make Big Moves, I didn't get to go. I just had the baby, so I was at home watching this. I wanted to go, and Max and the team graciously let me restream it. Thank you. I got to watch it instead of having to stream that night, which was amazing. What's interesting is we talk about the rock, paper, scissors and about how, you know, certain players just seem to maybe not be demons for others, but always take it out. T was 6-0 over DeBuzz before this weekend. Nairo, I think, was 6-0 over T in games also. But DeBuzz ended up beating T. Nairo beat T, but I believe T took a game or 2. I don't know if it went to game 5, I'm not sure. And we saw just how powerful the mental game is, because Nairo and DeBuzz went down to the very end. It was so close. That first set, it looked like it could have gone either way, and then DeBuzz SD'd. And it felt like from that moment on, it was done. You could just tell. You just feel it sometimes. The same way, like, when Senpai and I are commentating, like, Evo Grand Finals, and Leo, like, Tweak doesn't land the spike on Leo game 4, and we're like, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Leo wins. Like, and you just know sometimes. It happened at SmashCon, too, when Samsora dropped, I think it was an edge guard, and the wind in the room begins to change. But the Buzz SD'd, you could feel it.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to watch. Good stuff to Nairo for pulling through. That long road, that long bracket he had to take could not have been easy.
Damn it. Yeah, these are really the moments, because also no shots at Let's Make Big Moves, but top 128 on Sunday, I don't know if that's a trend I want to see, TBH. Top 32, I think, is the sweet spot. Top 8 on Sunday, it has to be a multi-game tournament, but
yeah.
Camera went out. That's great. I think that top 128, that's hard, especially because Nairo won. Like, that means he played literally all day, and like, you're constantly stressed. You're constantly, you know, you're playing, you're engaged. Like, the thing that bites about Smash is that, unlike a FPS, like, you know, you have to be focused in the middle. Like, you still have to, you focus in a different way. Like, yeah, you lose the stock, so you get like a moment, but like, dude, it's the whole thing. Every percent, every move. But yeah, I definitely know what you mean about the win, like the set changing moment, similar to like Meister getting the apples at Summit. If you remember that.
Change the world. Change the world. I'll remember that. Everybody's like, oh, Coney, it's just apples. Shut the hell up. It changed the game.
Anyway, so that was Let's Make Big Moves. Shout out to Nairo. I'm going to try to get a graphic out for them later this week. Kind of want to let everything settle. Also, I physically can't, because everything's so crazy right now. But
what did he get?
Did he
get 9th again?
I have no idea. Probably.
I think he might have. No, I think he got 13th or something. He did really good. He almost beat Nairo, actually, but didn't do it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to watch. Let's Make Big Moves has this, you know, every
wow,
event.
Venya with the unbuttoned shirt, by the way. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Tri-State.
He was really rocking it. I know how cold it is in New York in January.
It's actually pretty chill right now. It's like 60 this weekend.
It's that down here, but it shouldn't be, and I don't think it was this weekend. But So what's interesting to me is like, I feel like when you start a new tournament series, you need something, right? You need a hook, you need an angle. And the problem is that you don't always get to define what it is. Like, I'm going to have a tournament at a water park. Okay, that's your cool thing. You can decide that. But I don't know if, like Royal Flush, if you remember that, their whole
Mango
thing was
One.
like, we're gambling. And it's like, but that's not the feel of the tournament. That's where you're having it. You know what I mean? And I feel like Let's Make Moves, now Let's Make Big Moves, is really creating this sort of sweet spot in between sort of the grassroots and the esports. And I know that a lot of events try to do that, and a lot of events say that they do. I think Frostbite does it really well too. But you really could sort of get the vibe of it from this tournament. You're looking at the shot here. This is a tight room. This is a small room. You could hear people yelling. Like, this is how...
That's a
sort of
sweaty room, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But you like that.
It's nice. And without trying to be too old, this is kind of how things used to be. And it's a cool thing to see in 2020.
Okay, boomer.
Bro, when you usually see the big convention halls where, like...
Every wall is an LED.
Exactly. You have to walk a mile to go to the bathroom. Like, something like that is different. It's a different vibe. And I really think Let's Make Big Moves has this sort of... maybe not underground, but it has a different sort of feel to it, and I'm excited to see where the team goes with it. Obviously they announced Gommel, but Gommel is not the same as this series. Gommel is more of a traditional sort of major...
Gommel's a big brother, almost father, in a way.
Right, Gommel's like an event, right? But Let's Make Big Moves feels more like I don't know how to describe it. It's a little bit more of an LP rather than a full album. I really like that. I like that. I mean,
no, that's true. It's not a 2-hour album. It's a good 40-minute track. 7 tracks. But they're all it's Kids See Ghosts, honestly.
Yes.
But yeah, I think the future holds well because I know Let's Make Moves was first sort of Civic Center look okay, cool. Not gonna drive to that, but I'll watch. And then this one was like. Fortunately, down the street from me in Manhattan, but I was coming back from break. There was no way. I was going from Florida to a venue without a shirt on.
Yeah.
I'll do that on the weekdays. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see. This is cool. This is, I think, where it needs. This is like peak Smash almost because, like, listen, the LED panels, we've seen that. That's not, in a way, it's not hard. It's a weird thing, but that's a whole nother episode. Tournament logistics, tournament feel, tournament vibe. Yeah, right. but it's 2020, new decade, new us. So gosh, Tri-State is hilarious. But in any case, this is now the moment you've all been waiting for. Aside from the dates announcement, which if you didn't catch it, I'll throw it up one more time. If you're coming in late, if you just got out of class and you had to go do whatever. I'm lost. I don't even know. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. It's somewhere, but it's on Twitter probably by now. But for everybody else, production, we're going to go ahead and start the Q&A, which is that time that you ask us questions you want us to answer. And it has been a pretty fiery end to 2019, so fire away. Currently in the chat, we've got upwards of 200 people, so someone's got something. So, tagging us with Panda Global. First question is gonna be. I don't even see anyone. I don't even think people realize we're. You
didn't say it yet. I don't think in the chat. Did you put in the chat that we're gonna?
I did the thing. But right here, Drago the Dragon at Panda Global. How are you guys doing today? Coney,
good.
How you doing today?
Good. I'm dreading going back to work next week. I've been like. My natural straight state. So I didn't know this, and maybe you would know this since you're a teacher. You know how so was that when I was in school, we got told there were like certain taste buds, right? And then they said, and then I found out that there's a new taste bud that they didn't teach me when I was in school called umami, the savory one.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
The sweet.
Yes, there are. Yes.
Yeah, so they didn't teach me that.
Where is this going?
There's the whole Pluto is a planet. Pluto isn't a planet.
It is again, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. So I knew there was nocturnal, and there's diurnal.
Yeah.
You're awake at the day, awake at night. Did you know there's a third one?
What is it?
Crepuscular.
Whoa. Right? What's that Pokemon?
or a crepuscular. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it.
Is that the sleep pattern of a smasher?
Yes, sleep. It's my sleep pattern. It's crazy. It's when you're most active during twilight. So like you'll wake up at like, I don't know. Your natural state is to wake up at like noon or 1, and then you're like up until like 4 or 5
in the morning.
Yes.
That's a college kid, dude.
I know, but it's your natural sort of state because, like, I'm out of college and that's sort of. But
you still do that? You don't wake up in the AM?
Well, I do when I have to work.
Trash.
But when I'm doing this, I got to get myself back onto that route because that's sort of what I've been. And it does feel bad. It does feel. Trust me, living this way is not great because you like, especially in the winter, because you never see the sun, and that might be part of it too. Because, like, you know, winter and, like, sun being gone for so long. But, yeah, I'm trying. Anyway, this is long-winded. You asked a very short question. I'm kind of vamping, so more questions fill up the chat. But regardless, thank you. I'm doing well. Julie's doing well. We're having a good time. How are you doing, Suar?
I'm doing great. I love my girlfriend, love my cats. Break was amazing. Recharging. I unfollowed everyone on Twitter.
Yeah.
Not in preparation for this, but also kind of like, dude, the feed is just not... That's not good these days. So I was like, nope. I need to rebuild the feed. It's partly inspired by Ryuga, so shout outs to Ryuga. And it's like, when you unfollow everybody, like, you only see your tweets. It's kind of like funny. And then you see like the every now and then like that you maybe like someone and then their like shows up. So that's like the algorithm raw. I just kind of did it, like, just to do it. And it's kind of cool. It's like a cleanse. It's like clearing out a closet. And teaching's fun. The kids are back. We're having fun.
I feel like, I don't know if it's a Smash Twitter thing or if it's an all-over Twitter thing, but a few years ago, Twitter used to be about, like,
community.
To me, joke, well, sort of, but to me, jokes over everything. To me, being funny is the ultimate. If you're funny enough, you can get away with stuff, you can say whatever. I'm that kind of guy. But now it feels like Twitter's more about being right. You know what I mean? So it's all about dunking on people and like,
oh my god,
you believe this idiot said X?
Dude, correcting a typo on a tweet is just heinous.
Yeah, like PGR sucks. Likes below. Like people aren't funny anymore. They just want to be right. So I've had a lot less fun with Twitter.
There are some good PGR memes, and maybe we should hold a contest because sometimes I see like really well crafted ones, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna cry tonight. This is really funny.
Well, if you're funny enough, you can do it. But so many people just complain without any, you know.
Yeah, you can do a jab, but also like realize like, oh wow, it's kind of, yeah, okay, like you see it for what it is. But yeah, dunking on it, which relates to this next question by Stuart 90 at Panda Global. How much do you fear Leffen's reaction to the PGR?
Oh man,
honestly, like. Not like, okay, so I mean, I've seen what Leffen can do, right? He's made an entire major reseed days before. I don't know that we could reseed the PGR, so to speak. Yeah, I think like what he will say, which inevitably I imagine he would, further just highlights the scene's state more than what we do or don't do. The scene's moving. It's literally like a galaxy expanding and flattening all at once because there's literally, like we just showed you, tournaments everywhere. And so if you just live in MTVA and all you know is the pound and the glitch, yeah, Wadi's pretty nice. But you don't know what's going on in Europe, Japan, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, US-centric. Why do you call it global if it's not global? I mean, I guess. I don't know. Like, Leffen at this point to me is finding ways to make numbers benefit him in a way that's also social commentary, and he does it really well, so I applaud it. If anything, he sparks change, whether it's within us or somewhere else, and to that I honestly look forward to. He says lying, looking to his phone, checking the time. But I mean, whatever, like he's gonna trash it. I mean, I think also at this point it's funny because his fan base is really toxic.
Yeah.
Like people hate him for dropping out, but then people also like call him in to like dunk on someone. So it's almost like, dude, he's not your friend or your circus pet. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I think he's sick of it too. So if he wants negative energy about it, then cool. If not, then also cool.
I was watching a video that Leffen put out a day ago or 2 days ago or something. But basically, Banana Boy, who's a content creator and a competitor, put out a video which was like a shorthand, like how to beat every character in Ultimate. And it's pretty basic stuff. It's like, okay, against Mario, outrange him. Against Pikachu.
Oh, a layman's approach.
Right, it's kind of short. And Leffen went through and like specifically said why he was wrong, what he should have said, blah, blah, blah. And Leffen was pretty direct about it, but he tried to make it clear, like, you know, this is a good start, but the problem is that there's so much misinformation in FGC content that we need to sort of do better. Maybe he should have ran this by a top player or something like that. But he had his chat up the whole time. And it's just piglets sucking at the teat. It's crazy. Like, the amount of people who use streamers as a personality substitute. You know what I mean? Like, you see it in League a lot, too. Whatever you remember... Okay, in League, Tyler1 started saying, yikes. That's where everybody's saying it now. Yikes, Chief. Oof, that's a big... Just, like, a lot of people do that. And I feel like Leffen has that cult of personality thing going on. And
yeah,
like,
I mean, he's an influencer. Like,
he really is, and I'm not blaming him for making that video because it's a great video on both sides. I'm glad Banana Boy made it, and I'm glad Leffen made it. But to watch his chat just sort of adopt his sort of his what some might call toxicity or acerbicness without any of the credentials, without the accomplishments, without the insight is funny to see.
It's also funny because I think he's actually in the chat. Shout out to Snorley. I think Leffen, in some argument to something, actually pulled the card. What have you even done? Who are you to speak to me in this way? Which might have been sort of troll, but also, like, he might feel inclined to say that, and maybe I would too if I won Evo. So it's kind of a weird dynamic. I think he's a necessary
argument.
Yeah, but also, like, dude, I don't think anyone could really say that to anyone about anything, unless it's literally like, I don't know, like Bill Gates, right? And you're complaining about Windows XP, he'd be like, who are you to me? Like, I don't know. I digress, but I just mean, like, that card, like, who are, like, a class difference, like, is weird in Smash.
I feel you, because I hate it when people are like, I can't believe this
You're
guy
not an untouchable, bro. Like, you're not an untouchable.
I can't believe this guy with 30 followers is coming at me. That doesn't mean he's wrong. It just played the game for longer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I hate it when people try to flex followers, but at the same time, if like, and I've butted heads with Leffen on certain things. I think Terry isn't good. He thinks Terry's amazing. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, and we're both sort of, it's hard to communicate that on Twitter, so he's taking one side, I'm taking the other.
Yeah.
And it's really the middle, and I think we both know that. But if somebody, if Leffen is like, Jigglypuff having 6 jumps means that she can edgeguard very well, and somebody's like, nuh-uh, Jigglypuff sucks at that. Like, what else can you say to that person? You have nothing. You have no basis for this. It's objectively false. I have way more credentials. You know, so I don't think it should be. It should be a very rare card. I'll just say that.
Yeah, but I think he dunked on Snorley, so shout out to Snorley.
I didn't see the Snorley thing, so I can't speak to that.
I think it was Snorley, or maybe it was Seagull Joe or somebody. I don't remember. People that speak unapologetically, I guess.
That's surprising because I've had arguments with sort of Leffen, and it's never really gotten to that. But
well, I think you're also from a very particular brand of person. He didn't know these people, or at least as intimately, or at least you know. So in any case, people who keep asking about Area 51, it's slated to be the same day next Monday. So usually what we've done in the past is like the rankings come out at like 2 p.m. Eastern because that's metric time. And then usually we have Area 51 come out like noon or 10 in the morning, so it like blazes Twitter and then gets swept up by the top 10. It's so funny, dude. Like, my favorite part of the PGR is 30 through 50 because everybody without fail always puts it in their bio. Everyone's happy, everyone's excited, everyone's all like, yeah, you know, like, whoever you are, number 33, who will never be referenced, by the way, ever. Like, they'll be, you know, used in the TTS, they'll be invited, they'll be put in Twitch headlines. But the fact you are 33rd, do you know who was 33rd last season?
No.
I don't. I don't know who was 37. 42? I don't remember. Those numbers are like, you're in, okay, you're in. But I'm
looking right now. 33. I don't want to say who it is because I don't want to be mean. I'm looking at it though.
Who is it?
He's very good.
Who is it?
They're all good players.
Who is it?
It's Ryuga.
Ryuga. Okay, cool. I mean, he didn't play well, he kind of did. He was balancing a lot of college. Kid's amazing.
Right. He's a very good player. That's the thing. When you look at the 50, they're all very good. But I agree with you. It's like, it's all fun and like positivity, and then the 29 rolls around, and people are like, "Oh shit, I didn't make it." Then the tweets start coming out like, "Wait a minute!
Oh my god,
29 are up." So something bad happened.
31 through 50, everybody made it as an extra in the play. You know, it's like, hey, dude, you made it, dude. I'm stage crew. Yo, what's up? I'm Water Boy. Like, again, listen. You made top 50 in the world. Everyone's amazing. I literally do not sleep, and multiple people do not sleep to make sure we show these people in the best light. I remember I said on Twitter something like, someone was like, why don't you release them all on the same day? And I was like, dude, like, no. Also, everything is kind of a distraction up until the top 10. And they're like, really? You're going to say that to 11 through 50? I'm like, dude, you do not understand what marketing is. But yes, 31 through 50, you got everybody happy. And then who got the lead roles? And then you don't see your name in 21 through 30. And you're like, okay, did I have that good a season?
Yep.
Oh no. And then 11 through 20. Oh, I didn't make top 20. And then it's just the final 10 in the order of that destroy. Oh my god.
It's so funny when like everyone's like, yo, I'm playing this guy, and then you find out who's playing like Romeo and Juliet. It's like Hamlet, and like, yo, I got
too much.
Yeah, I'm doing too much.
They have not read Hamlet, my guy.
I was gonna say, I realized halfway through, I was like, there's something they know. You guys don't know any of these people.
It's like, you guys get it, but
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, and you
stop. I love the 31 through 50. Everyone's really nice. Everyone thanks them. Their C-tier sponsor thanks them. Their moms chimes in. They put it in their bio, frame 1. 1 through 30, though, it's Chernobyl, dude.
It's a lot of fun. I'm very excited.
The radiator, everything, it's gone. Anyways, we're having too much fun with that question. There's a cute one, only because, you know, always relevant, never there. Hisoka QC, Panda Global, do you think Anti will have his breakout season? No. He's a personality entertainer. It's what? How many tournaments is it going to be? The one by now? It worked at Smash 4 because he had a really good set, but I think this game, I think he'd need something different, right? I mean, it was Lucario at one point. What are we doing?
Yeah, this isn't to take any shots because I know he's good, and I know he would be good if he tried, but he got double. He didn't really get a chance at big moves because he got double eliminated by Meister, which kind of sucks.
Oof.
I mean, it could be. This would be, if there's any event that would inspire confidence, it would be Let's Make Big Moves. Guy got he got whatever he got. I know Big D got 33rd, and I know Anti beat him in Loser, so
yeah,
Anti might have gotten 20. He got 17th. Okay, that's super good. But again, it's hard to know how much he's gonna care. We talked about it. I talked about it during my X Factor stream. Anti seems like the guy. If like Frostbite with 2,000 entrants is on one weekend, and then DreamHack is on the same weekend with 400 entrants, he'll go to DreamHack. And I don't know if that's just prior obligations. I don't know, but he doesn't really go to the big stuff, and when he does go, he doesn't really perform as well as he would. So
well, it's also, it's an optics thing, and I think what I meant earlier about Anti is like, personality and a content creator. I mean, he's done a lot of vlogging, which takes time, editing, whether you outsource it or whatever. Like, he's branching out in a way where like he's safe to do these things, but being able to win DreamHack, the metal pictures, all that matters, or the ring or whatever, doubles, like. It's cool how he keeps up his brand while also not being ranked.
Yep.
Which is kind of unlike, his Smash 4 career, because that's like he started top 10, he had all this stuff, and then everything else, everything. Yep. But yeah, I mean, I think it could be his breakout season, but he'd have to drop everything else resolutely. Like, balancing the two does not work. I'll tell you that now. You can get maybe 31 through 50, but not top 30, like he in a way belongs. Brawl vet, incredible player, seasoned veteran, not happening. Quick question for you by Young Cheddar Biscuit. What do you guys type when you make these usernames? But anyways, he said, Panda Global, Coney, do they still call him DeBuzz even after yesterday?
No, now it's not DeBuzz, it's DeBooze. And now they don't call him that, they call him DeLuz.
Wow, that ended perfectly with the music. Oh, DeBooze, my bad. What is that from? What is this reference? Is this a wrestling reference?
To Elton John. And I guess that's why they call it the blues, but you say DeBooze. But yesterday was DeLuz.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
I don't listen to white people music.
Elton John is for everyone. He's a generational talent.
Got the hood. I'm joking. Shout out CE.
Yeah.
Jag9. What will be Zachary's character shown in the PGR? It's gonna be the Smash Ball. Next question. Someone is asking, I honestly don't know, whatever Zachary did the most with, which I don't, do you know? Do I? I don't even know. I don't know if it's been decided. Rob?
I don't know if it's Joker or Rob, but probably Joker or Rob, I think.
Game & Watch?
Could just be whoever he won Big House with, which was Joker, right? Or was it Rob? He won his final set with Joker, I think.
He really won Big House, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, Smash moves too fast. That would have been like a 3-month victory lap in Smash 4 in the first Big House.
Yes.
Anyways, we're boomers. I want to answer this because this always comes up. Do Finnick, I think. Well, Panda Global, will you ever have an established start and season dates before a season starting? Grammar. No, because if we said that the season ends May 5th, guess who's going to announce the tournament the weekend of May 5th in March? Really, part of the frustrating bits about Smash Esports is that it's uncoordinated, uncentralized, and also grassroots and esports intersected. So some random with like a $2 million check might be like, hey, come to our event, and then invite everybody, pay everybody. Or you just have something like, let's make big moves. Could you have imagined? They had to also reserve venues prohibitively in advance, this crazy amount of time before they can announce the tournament, which means before they can put out brackets. It's very hard. Let's make big moves, I think, was a concept as early as last February or March. So we have no way of knowing that, and it's a mess. Yeah. So we try to announce it as soon as we can in the last month. I mean, we tell people we're in the middle, we're in the last stretch, or in the beginning, and everybody's pretty accustomed. It's with the seasons. The winter closes, the summer opens, the winter closes, blah blah blah. Pick one more question so we can conclude this really fun coming back to NIS thing.
Sure. Do I have to pick it?
If you want.
Here's a fast one. Do you think there will be any Banjos or Terry on the PGR? Probably.
Who plays banjo? Raito?
I don't know any Banjos. Utopian Ray plays banjo, but
he does. Mm-hmm. Who's the best Terry in your opinion? Wouldn't it be Riddles?
It's either Locust or Riddles. I mean, Riddles had a good showing. Locust beat Shuton at a local. It wasn't at the big event. But...
At a local.
Yeah. He also said, PBC said, do you guys realize all the characters in top 10 have reasonably killing bears? That's not true. Pikachu's doesn't kill until much later. Got him. Yeah, there's one about PGR reports if you want to answer that, but you would answer. I can't.
PGR report? Midseason? April Fool's Day?
Yeah. If you
can you guys work on a midseason report for PGR V3 on April Fool's Day? We can't even joke. Something I really hate, and this is my last bit, I think I've lost sounds so sad. I think I lost a lot of my flair as a person by being, I love how there's no music. I think I've lost a lot of my flair as a person online by being this professional, always law-abiding figurehead that is supposed to coordinate an esport without its own developer backing. So anytime I go on Twitter, if it's not about the PGR, then I don't get anything. I can post oh my god, my kids today learned how to play Magic because I taught them in this elective. No retweets, no likes, which I don't need that. That's weird. But if it's a picture of my cat, maybe, right? Picture of Devin, no one knows who Devin is, even though she's been my girlfriend for 5 years. Kind of like no one knows who Mel is, if you know what I mean. Like, Mel's not a smasher, Devin's not a smasher, so it's like they don't interact with that space. But then I can't really ever joke, and then if I go in a thread, I can like be just really sarcastic, but I can never be like wrong, which I would like to do, because it always somehow either gets quote retweeted or replied to in a way that's like, well, aren't you supposed to? And it's like, oh, I forgot I can now have fun. So I will go back to not having fun and listen to Forest of Hope by the very famous Pikmin soundtrack.
Again, people on Twitter right now would rather be right than funny.
But dude, you get so much for being wrong all the time.
Yep,
That's what pisses me off. I'm joking. It's fine. I mean, it's like, it's weird, like being an adult in situations that like there is no adult. This is a weird sleepover, and then everyone's like, dude, you're the adult. It's like, no, I'm not though. Like, why?
Don't make me pizza rolls. You're the grown-up.
I know.
No, I want pizza rolls too.
I want some pizza. I want to just maybe I should make a private Twitter, but those are always like just weird and lewd and sad, and I'm not weird or lewd.
I like private Twitters now.
Do you have a private Twitter?
No, I don't have one because I don't.
It's gonna get screenshotted, so it's like, why do I?
That's the problem, right? Like, I like private Twitters, and I thought that might be the meta for a while, because we're reaching a point in Smash where people can't say their true opinions because they're gonna get, like, it used to be fun, right? It used to be like, wow, Mr. R, you putting the cereal before the milk, what an idiot, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, listen here, I can't. I forgot it's a PG.
Kill yourself.
PG show. Yeah, you can call it dude. Is number 8 and not number 5. Jump off a bridge. Like, it's insane. Like,
that's putting it nicely.
Mean. Like, I don't get it, you know?
You know what I thought? I thought of, honestly, you know what it came to? I honestly thought about making a dummy account. Just to be a normal person again.
Yeah.
And then commenting.
I feel like people might be doing that.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like
Smash Bros Insider? What if I was Smash Bros Insider?
I know you're not.
Oh, you know who Smash?
And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
All right, that's all we got for the show tonight.
That's all we got for PG.
That's all we got for the show tonight. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming. This Q&A was fire. The 200 of you who tuned in to have you shown a PNG of 5 dates for a Google spreadsheet of 50 names. You're the real ones, actually. And listen, next week, the whole point of this thing is for people to look at the scene and look for a predetermined amount of time who did the most out of what was available, okay? So, actually, whatever couching I do or framing, it doesn't matter. People are just going to be upset. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's always the best time of the year. And also, I want to see the memes. And listen, if the meme's not funny in a way that's like funny, like 3rd level tier funny, and it's just like taking a shot, like, I've already seen it. You're not unique. Like,
yeah,
you're tweeting about a spreadsheet, bro. Like, go outside. Or stay inside, because we respect all lifestyles. But in any case, Coney, final words. You're at Coney, not Comey. You're not the FBI lead investigator.
Bro, you would not believe how much I
Do
get.
Do you still get it?
It's so funny. It really is. It's amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry we were gone for a while. All the life stuff seems to be behind us, so I think we're good.
He's a father and I'm a teacher, so the fact we even have lives.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so excited for this stuff to come out, especially like we were talking about, like 50 through 31. It's gonna be, we needed sort of a fire on Twitter, because I feel like we're like, I have a husky, like a purebred husky.
Where's this going?
I'm bringing it around. When people leave the house for too long and he has nothing to do, he starts chewing the walls.
You know what?
Like Smashers, without shit to do, start self-destructive behavior.
Yes. Oh my god. What was the best example of that? There was a couple last year. And then if you're the person in the sights at that moment, boom. You're gone. Bye, Pierce.
If there's nothing to talk about. If there's nothing to talk about, people will make stuff to talk about. There's a little bit of, like, separation anxiety, and if we don't have tournaments to talk about, then we're going to find something that makes no sense. I think the PGR is a perfect sort of bone to chew on for a lot of the Smash community, you could just it's a bone lathered in peanut butter. We'll be there for hours and hours.
Like literally,
I'm very excited.
Like oh god, like literally the crab being thrown at Pound. Any tweet, any tweet that had crab either as a word or as a picture, 100 likes, like 50 retweets, and that's literally what the PGR what'll happen. Like, you hate it, you love it, and listen. By the way, the only reason we even as a team, as a collective, as whoever, keep on going is because there is a very loud, silent majority that, you know, they're like, hey, cool, like, I really like how you did this, they give us feedback, whatever. Top players, believe it or not, same deal. Some more than others. Commentators.
That's it. I want you to know that's very salient, because after this weekend, with everybody complaining about commentators, there's a silent majority that like what we do, and there's a lot of people. Oh yeah, maybe you didn't see it. Yeah, so a lot of people were complaining about commentary during Let's Make Big Moves, and I don't know if it's because of, or it's just...
Well, dude, that's the chewing the wall, though, because it's the same commentary Tri-State's had for every other regional / major.
For regionals, though, because you don't have TK, you don't have EE, D1, you don't have, you don't have the what a lot of people consider the top level casters. You have, other people, like, and people either don't like those people, or they don't think they're as good, or they don't think they're as professional, and they just find ways to complain about it. And whether or not it's true, it's so subjective, because like maybe you just don't like those people, like a lot of people get stuck on the commentators that they like. But anyway, I didn't mean to hijack it, but it's interesting because there's so many people that like what Hazmat and Koopa do and don't complain about it, but then 3 people do. And I think PGR is sort of similar in that, you have a lot of people who sort of like and respect with the work that you guys do, but obviously there's going to be people that sort of come at you guys whenever stuff comes out.
At the end of the day, there's always another season. People forget that.
Sure. Yeah.
So, again, like, I think, honestly, you know what? Since I've been on my soapbox all night, I think that this gets real, but I think that the reason the PGR angers a lot, it's usually people that would maybe be ranked in a different timeline, or maybe with different circumstances. I think it just reveals that your own mediocrity isn't enough. Which, listen, those are heavy words, but I think no, because listen, I would hate to be labeled, right? Like, I'm not a fish, I'm not wildlife, right? But I think Mars. It would be Mars. We were one day, and this is my one for the whole show, but he was like, hey, don't you think ranking people's kind of fucked up? And I was like, I mean, yeah, actually. You are better than him, but you are worse than him, and also, you're in Area 51. That is kind of
an alien.
I know.
You're the 21st best player, and you're his best friend, but you're the alien. Go away.
Oh my god. And I think it messes with I think it makes people uncomfortable with oh my god, what I'm doing, it's cognitive dissonance. What I'm doing did not net the result I thought. I'm the best person I know. What do you mean you're dumping me? What? I think that really bites, because especially with what's going to happen this PGR, as you can guess by the literal point breakdown we made, internationals, both... Yeah, Niatono's number 1. For people...
Sky, Choco, number 5.
Shiki, bro. What is... Oh my god. For what it's worth, people outside the United States don't understand the United States as being anything other than egotistical, and then people inside the United States don't understand anybody outside the United States as being anything other than whiny. And so it's when you have the two clash, and it's being actually, here's your report card, it's some of the currency doesn't measure up, bro, and some of the stuff you think you've been cashing in is actually worth very little. So I personally think that's what's happened each season. It's also a male ego thing, which we can get into another time, and the Pop Sci Psychologist Digest episode of Smashcenter. But I honestly think some people they're uncomfortable with being like challenged with like, you know. And my favorite thing is when people reject their rank. And not even because like, oh, they're that rank to me and they're a number to me, but it's more so like Schrodinger's PGR, right? For every tweet you're seeing, for every tweet you're seeing on the PGR right now, if you name search or whatever, whether they're trashing the X Factor or their favorite hometown hero didn't make a Google form, whatever you want, other people are making it their 2020 goals. So it's like loved and hated simultaneously. And I think when people reject it, it's like, but you're still gonna say that you got an S tier win over Tweak, but you're still gonna say, it's so weird, dude.
I think the Schroeder
it's
thing,
so weird.
Thing comes in that Twitter link. You post, here are the 40 through 31, and before you click on it, you are both on and not on the PGR, so you're excited for it. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd hate to be a player.
May not be there, and then the second you click on it, you know whether you are on, neither you like or you hate the PGR in that book.
Which is funny because then in hating it, it's like, what are you hating? The methods. Okay, so the methods. So then get you to be ranked. Okay, cool. Now this dude in Austria is upset, right? Because his B tier doesn't count for much, and that win trickled to Gluttony, whatever. So then it's like everyone just wants to see themselves where they think they should be, and I guess that's when reality hits everybody. You know, and then also, like, fans are gassing people. Yeah, yo, bro, you're definitely top 20. Yo, I know this, dude. Yeah. I know this from the 3 streams I watched all season out of the 90-plus events, bro. You're top 20. I know this. And then it's an echo chamber.
Yeah.
And then you're Area 51, and then you hate me, which is like, I don't know you. So it's just weird to hate me. Or TAS, who's literally a program by NASA.
You guys just made a robot. Like, it's like, hate the robot. Like, I you know what I mean? It's
but
like,
you can't even really hate TAS because, like, TAS is, he's responding to his internal code, and, like, it's just, okay, take these tournaments, take these wins, take these set. Yeah, it's just funny. It's always been funny. And each time it gets more bittersweet and more sweet than bitter. But I think for everyone who's always wondered, like, how's it work on you, blah, blah, blah. In the beginning, pure anxiety and depression. Like, I'm not even joking. It was like, oh my God, the internet hates me. But they don't know me, so what? And then it was like, yeah, I made top 10, everybody, and it's like, wait, but they're celebrating, and then everyone's popping off, and then you're like, I did that, but I'm hated. It's funny. This Area 51, after I told you what it was, if you remember the names, will just start already, like, with no wheels on the car. Like, pure rims, dude. Pure rims from the beginning, downhill in a San Francisco. Like, literally, Area 51 is gonna start Twitter on Monday, dude. Yep. On Monday. I'm telling you right now, anyone who is ready for Twitter, maybe going down. Honestly, it could go trending. After I've seen what I've seen, it could go any which way. It could. I know it's not gonna be like on deaf ears sort of thing, right? Yeah. Like, it's gonna have a reaction. Just Area 51, and it's gonna be up until top 50 comes out, 41 through 50, and then those will have, like, it's natural, like, yay, like, I made it, and then, like, you know, people are tweeting out, it's cool, but Area 51 already is gonna start like a mess, and I'm excited.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
As somebody who greatly enjoys
disaster
energy, I love it. I thrive in that, so I'm very excited. We don't have to deal with smashers tweeting at each other because they're mean.
It's like that weird. It's like that feeling. I love when majors happen, like a major maker, like a Genesis or an Evo, because everything is about that, and so it's like you're feeling all the things at once with people. So, you know, if Leo wins or Tweak loses, or there's this pop up, like everyone's on Twitter is like, yo. So then for the PGR, when that happens, it's also that, but it's over 2 weeks, and it's almost like the Winter Olympics. Like, they're going on, and if you tune in, it's like, whoa, this is crazy, my country's winning, but then you're upset if your country doesn't make it. But it's like the Winter Olympics, bro. Like, what do you want? Like,
you've got so many analogies.
I know.
There's like so many things.
But that happens over like so many times, like so many days. Like, the World Cup is like weeks. So, in any case, Coney was supposed to sign out like 10 minutes ago.
I know. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Coney. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter /Coney. Just search Coney Smash, you'll find out everything. So
Thank you,
go check
Coney.
up on my baby. I'm glad we're back to this. Hopefully we can get back to doing this weekly, and we can talk about the PGR next week. Woo!
Yeah, so I'll get into that in a moment as Coney closes out. So bye, Coney.
Night,
Thanks for coming in. Next week we have planned the round table, in the sense that Coney and I will essentially each night, we used to do like having all these people come on. I hate wrangling people, and it's a lot of people to wrangle. And also, like, people, it's funny, I want to be on the round table, and then it's like, round table apps are up, who wants to be a part of it? And they're like, the night up, yo bro, can I be a part of it? Like, you don't have time, I don't have time, I'm sorry. Maybe the top 10 will, get like a good 4 or 5 people to have a reaction to the actual, like, whoa, but everyone's gonna be at Genesis, so I don't know. Maybe we'll have some people come on, Sakurai, the crowd. But in any case, those are the dates. Next Monday, Area 51 to preface the 41 through 50. Next Wednesday, 31 through 40. This is always hard. The next Friday, 21 through 30. The next Tuesday, next Tuesday. Okay, these are all abstract dates because I'm not giving a number, but I forgot. Also, I don't have a calendar in front of me. There we go. The 21st is going to be the beginning of the top 20, 11 through 20, and then the 23rd of January, 2020, in the year of our Lord, Auto Domini, is the top 10 for Season 2 of this game we play for hours on our couches and our living rooms, in an esports bar, in a ballroom, in a water park, on a plane. I don't know why we do this. That's Smash, baby. That's showbiz. So love you all. See you next time. It's good to be back. Happy New Year's. Happy winter solstice. I think that was early December. Happy holidays. Happy new brothers and sisters or cousins of people who were born over the holidays. Crazy stuff happens. Yeah. Tell somebody you love them. You know how to do it. See you next time.